Hello and welcome back, guys, to the Lettering with Mike podcast. This is episode number 2. It is currently 3 o'clock in the afternoon on September 30th, 2019. Today, I just want to dive into a few things that are going on through my life. Some are going to be design related. Some will be, my physical health related. Just a little bit of everything, just so you guys can kind of get the scoop on what's going on in my life. But before we get started, I just want to ask you guys, how are you feeling today? Don't worry, I'm listening. Go on. Really? No, that's quite interesting. Yeah, it happens. Yeah. Well, all you can do is just move forward and just, continue to progress daily. Okay. Well, that's good. I'm glad yeah, me too. Glad you're doing good overall. That's terrific. I'm actually doing pretty great myself as well. Anyways, let's dive into this podcast. Yeah, okay. But first, before we dive too deep into the podcast, I need to drink some of this coffee because currently in my house, it might be 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but it is freezing. I tell you what, waking up every morning, it is so cold. Like, even 2 blankets is still not enough. And for some reason, we don't turn the heat on. I don't know why. But we just, I guess we're just super frugal. Anyways, I'm going to drink some of this coffee now. I have this hemp milk latte I got like 2 hours ago. Maybe I should try that. Because you don't want to waste coffee. Like, who wastes coffee? All right, I'm gonna give this hemp milk latte a try and see if it's any good still. I got it around 12:30, I think. And then I came and I was hanging out, working on some stuff, and then I took a little nap, and I just woke up from my nap. So we'll see. I also have a backup coffee just in case this coffee is not any good. Yeah. Do you guys drink backup coffees? You always got to have at least one backup coffee, I feel like. But enough of that. Let me take a sip of this and see. Mm-hmm. Well, it's definitely cold. That's for sure. But it's actually pretty good. I think I might take another sip. Yeah, actually, it's not half bad. It probably looks disgusting. I have the lid on it, so you can't see what it looks like. Let's take like that feeling when you grab onto a warm mug and like your hands are like icicles? That is like one of the greatest feelings ever. Let me try this. It's a Costa Rica. I think it might be a single origin, or maybe it's just like a blend of Costa Rica or something. But it's by Coffee Bar, and if you guys don't know, they have a killer 2 for $25, I believe. 2 for $25 on Mondays, and actually today's Monday. I didn't buy the coffee today. I bought it like a couple weeks ago, but this is the Costa Rica blend coffee, I think. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's great. I need another sip. Well, you guys are feeling great. That is awesome. I'm feeling pretty great as well. All right. So I guess let's dive into something. Feel free to whip out your sketch pad. Today's going to be kind of a long episode, or long-ish, probably like an hour or so. So this podcast is really just to kind of help you just get in the zone, you know? Like, it's always nice to have like some sort of podcast that you can kind of just listen to, let your mind just kind of go, and then it helps you, at least for me, it helps me get into like the creative space a little bit better. So to start things off, I'm just going to kind of tell you guys about my health. I've been really working on it recently. I actually downloaded the MyFitnessPal app. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. Most of you probably have. But yeah, I heard about it like a couple years ago, and I started using it for probably a little less than a week, and fell off of it immediately, just because, you know, tracking all your food every day seems like such a chore, and it's kind of tough to stay on it because you don't really realize how much you're actually consuming until you have to like type it all into the app. So like, for instance, just like a basic breakfast or whatever, you know, maybe you have like some eggs, which, you know, the eggs are good. I like eggs. And then maybe you have like some sausage or some bacon with it, and then a piece of toast. And then you put some jelly and some butter on that toast, and you put some sriracha or some ketchup or even some hot sauce, maybe some salsa onto your eggs, and you wash all that down with a nice coffee. Maybe you have like some orange juice to go with that, and all of a sudden you got like five to 8 things, almost maybe 10 things, you know, including the oil that you cooked everything with. That's kind of a lot to calculate for each meal, and you know, sometimes we have 3 meals, sometimes 4, and even those little snacks in between, you know. And like, what makes it even tougher, after using this, I'm on about day 33 right now, and of calculating every single thing. That's all the sauces, all my drinks, everything I cooked with, pretty much everything. What makes calculating your food like the most tough, or more tough? Is it more tough or most tough? Most difficult? Yeah, we'll go with that. What makes it most difficult with calculating your food is when you have to try to guesstimate things that aren't in like the database. So like, say you go to like a restaurant, you get like a hamburger. You're like, well, I don't know what kind of grade meat this is. You know, it could be 96% lean. It could be 80%. You know, just like little things like that you kind of have to like kind of guess. But for me, I feel like so far I feel like this app has really made me cook more at home, just because of how much easier it is to stay consistent with tracking your food, because I eat similar portions in the same. I eat the same brands. So for like eggs, my typical breakfast. We'll just start with that to kind of give you an idea of what my breakfast looks like. I just had to tap my screen to make sure this thing is still going, because I don't want to end up talking for an hour and then it not record any of that. But anyways, yeah. So a typical breakfast for me: 6 eggs, sriracha, salt, pepper, and sometimes I'll have like an avocado or something with it. So because I eat that so frequently, when I go and search eggs, it'll automatically pop up with 6, and so it's like boom, it's like already done. And like sriracha, that's another thing that I can get into in just a sec. But yeah, so like 6 eggs for me. That might sound crazy, but it's like it's pretty filling. It's a good amount of protein, but it's not overboard. Like it's like it's light enough, at least for me, to be able to go out there without feeling like bloated and whatnot. But with this app, once you start cooking more at home and you start using like some of the same ingredients, like overnight oats are pretty consistent. So like, if say you make 4 different, or maybe you make 4 meals of like some oats. You know, you have oats, you know, maybe some coconut almond milk in there, peanut butter, maybe some blueberries or something. You can create that meal and then save it one day, and then it's like pretty easy. You just swipe and it'll add like your breakfast from the day before. That is if you're using the same meal for your breakfast every day. But yeah, I mean, overall, like, just I guess the moral or the concept, or what I'm trying to get at with that is by cooking more at home, I feel like you're eating better because you're not eating so much processed foods, and it's easier to calculate because it's just the same ingredients that you always use, and it's automatically like saved in your previous history. So it's really easy to find when you have to go search for it later. But yeah, so I've kind of made a habit of doing that. I'm on day 33, I think, or maybe 34. And so far I've seen some pretty good results. I recently stockpiled on like 5 new pairs of pants because for some reason my pants always rip within like 2 months or sometimes even a month and a half. So I figured if I get at least 5 pairs of pants, I can hopefully last the whole year. But I guess we'll see, right? Anyways, so with that being said, I bought a few of those pairs one size smaller because I know the scale isn't everything, and I wanted to kind of see like what, like, you know, the actual physical transformation. And let me tell you, the first month of tracking my food and like, you know, exercising the same, just really just working on my diet, I've seen I feel like a pretty good change. For the last 2 years, I've been about the 200 pounds to 215 pounds range, and I'm 5'11", I don't think I'm quite 6 foot. So that kind of gives you a sense of like my stats, I guess. But yeah, and I've been going to the gym pretty regularly too. So I've always been I've been fluctuating for like the last 2.5 years between like 196 and like 210. And I decided it's time for me to, you know, take control of my life. So that's why I started using the MyFitnessPal app and really trying to see like what am I eating, you know, like really trying to like feed my body, because, you know, you hear that thing like your body's a temple, and I'm like, yeah, I get it, you know, it's whatever. I try to, you know, take care of myself the best I can, but like recently it's been like, you know what, like I really do want to take care of myself. And, you know, that doesn't go to say I'm not going to allow myself to go out and drink every once in a while, but like for the majority, like I want to feel good, you know. I'm tired of like being so burnt out and tired all the time, you know, and that happens, but like I want to, for the majority of the time, to feel great, you know. I want to feel alive, you know, that natural energy. So yeah, I kept exercising regularly. I go at least 2 times a week. I try to go to the gym at least 3 times a week outside of, you know, any skateboarding I do or anything. Just like there's 3 days at the gym, like an hour, 45 minutes to like an hour and 15-minute long session. Hit the bag a little bit, some dumbbells, and then pair that with a proper, maybe not proper, but just like, you know, making all my food at home and like really keeping it simple and calculating and like just kind of tracking everything, you know, keep myself on track. That way I don't overeat or, you know, just kind of watch everything. I'm not getting super crazy, not measuring or like weighing out every little bit, you know. I kind of eyeball most of it, but anyways, through doing all of that the last 4 weeks, I went from, I think I was 200 at the beginning of, see, it is September now, August. I think at the beginning of August or like midway, I was about 200 pounds. And it's been a few days since I weighed myself, but the last weigh-in I did was probably a few days ago, and I was 191, and I think about 14.9% body fat. And 4 weeks before that, I think I was at 15.2% body fat. So not a huge decrease, I don't think. Of course, I'm not a health expert, so I couldn't tell you how much that really is. But just looking at myself in the mirror, like I feel like, you know, I'm still not where I want to be, but I'm definitely feeling a lot better about myself. And, you know, one of my favorite shirts, it's like a mushroom shirt. Used to be super, like, not super tight, but like, you know, it was like tight. You could feel it holding on to you. And now I got like at least like an inch, I would say, maybe an inch and a half. of just looseness of the shirt just like in front of me. And so it's like by that and being able to fit into the size smaller already, it's like, dang, like this is actually like, I'm actually making some progress. But you know, the last few days I've kind of slipped up a little bit, you know, going, you know, a few hundred calories over my, you know, ideal limit. And I've, you know, went drinking a couple times, but that's because, you know, sometimes things happen, you know, like the block party, you know, some things like that you kind of just gotta be okay with and just kind of move forward. So, but overall, my health, like I feel like I'm on track. Like I feel like this is the year. No, you know what? This is the year that I'm gonna be in the best shape of my life, and I haven't told anybody this except for my mother. But my goal since like early this year, not too early this year, probably like April-ish or June, it was to be in the best shape of my life by November 7th. And I feel like I can achieve that. If I keep doing what I'm doing, I think it's not too crazy of a goal. But yeah, so that's kind of where I am with my health. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. So yeah. How are you guys doing on your health? What are some struggles that you guys are going through? Or I have a little bit of a craving, you know, occasionally, but ever since like I started doing this, I've been eating like a lot of chicken and a lot of overnight oats and stuff, and I haven't really had like the cravings all too much. And when I do, I found this super cool ice cream. I don't know if it's like a keto ice cream or something, but I think it's called Halo Top. Yeah, Halo Top, I think. But it's the like the protein version, or like I don't eat dairy, so I eat like the dairy free one, or maybe they're all dairy free. I don't quite remember. But those ones are pretty good. I mean, you eat because I mean, who's gonna pick up a pint of ice cream and only eat 1/4 of the container? I don't know anybody. Maybe yeah. I really I don't know anybody that's gonna only eat 1/4 of a pint. For all of us, we probably eat 1 pint at least. And if you're eating regular ice cream, that's probably close to 1,000 to 1,200 calories, which is crazy for that small little serving. Like once you take one bite, it's just like the whole thing's gone. But anyways, with Halo Top, they're around like 280 or something, or 320 calories for the whole pint, which, you know, it's still a decent amount, but I mean for a whole pint, like that's pretty crazy. And it's got like some protein in there too, so like that's good, right? I don't know. Again, I'm not a you know, nutritionist, so I couldn't tell you like the specifics on proteins and all that, but just kind of sharing with you guys like what I've discovered in my journey of, you know, trying to be in the best shape of my life. So yeah, so that's my that's where I am at with my health. And yeah, let's move on to the next topic. Let's see here. Oh, so recently I did a chalk mural for the Yelp Astronomy event over at the Discovery Museum here in Reno, and it was kind of a last minute thing. I had the next 2 days off of work, and I believe it was like a Wednesday and a Thursday, and randomly on Facebook I got tagged in this post of somebody looking for a chalk muralist, and you know, I reached out. I was like, yeah, I'm in, sounds fun. And so he reached out to me, and you know, by the time I knew it, the next day I was going over there to start working on it. I sketched up something real quick because, you know, due to time constraints, you know, it's kind of hard to, you know, deliver the best piece you want next day sometimes. And yeah, so I went over there, picked up some supplies, mostly just a lot of chalk. I did make another discovery though on my way over to the Discovery Museum. And that was at the Nevada Fine Arts store. We had like small 12 packs of those Crayola white chalk pieces. And so I asked the guy, I was like, hey, do you have any like bigger packs of chalk? Because, you know, I got 3.5 walls. I ended up doing like 2.5, but there was like, I think there was like 3, and then there was like a cart or something like that. So I was like, I'm gonna need a lot of chalk for all this. But they only had like 3 of those 12 packs on the line, and I needed it that day. So I was like, hey, do you have anything, like any bigger packs or any kind of chalk that's gonna get me through this project? And he's like, have you heard of spray paint, or not, it was like spray chalk. I was like, spray chalk? And so he showed me, he brought me over to the spray paint section. I'm like, what's going on here? And then like he showed me the cans, and it was actually, I have the cans right here. I can tell you what they're called. ASMR, anybody? They're actually called erasable chalk paint. It's by Montana, which I like their spray paints. They're pretty good. And so like, I was like, yeah, let me get like 4 of those because I'm going to need a lot of chalk. And if I can spray paint my chalk on there, that's going to make my life so much easier instead of having to fill it all in. I only ended up using just a little bit of it, just because it wasn't until I got there and I started working that I realized that I probably should have brought some other caps with me, because the paint kind of comes out pretty quick and thick. So yeah, so I made that discovery, got all my supplies, went down to the museum, met the guy. Oh, another crazy thing. On the way to my like beginning of work of that chalk mural / meeting the guy that kind of helps out with the Yelp events and whatnot, Michael is his name. He's got the same name as me, but yeah, he's pretty cool. Anyways, on my way to the museum, I got a message from another friend / client on another lettering project, and so we ended up meeting at the Discovery Museum like minutes before I was meeting with the other guy to talk about a project for a future time, and I ended up having to do a little quick demo on the spot so that she could bring it to her client. So we'll see how that goes. I'm still waiting to hear back from that one, but yeah, that was real interesting. It just like kind of all hit all at once. And so yeah, so he showed me the rooms, and I ended up linking up with another artist that I know, Candace, and her husband or boyfriend, I can't remember, Edward, or Eddie for short, I guess. Yeah, so like we've been talking about collabing for a while, and it was just kind of funny how I had no idea that they were going to be there, so it was kind of cool. So we had two pairs of lettering artists kind of working on these chalk murals, which made things so much easier because they focused on the one downstairs, and I got to focus on the one upstairs. And yeah, the whole thing was fun. I got a lot of chalk on my hands, on my pants, on the floor. It's kind of cool though. Like when you're filling in spaces with chalk, like on a chalk wall. Maybe it's just this one in particular. I haven't done a whole lot of chalk walls, but just like the dust coming down as you're like shading is just kind of cool. It's like fairy dust in a way. But yeah, it was about 8 hours of work put into these. I want to say maybe 10 or so. I think it was about 6 hours the first day, and then like another 3 or 4 hours, maybe closer to 3 probably, for the second day, which was the day of the event. And yeah, it was really cool. It was kind of crazy. As I was working on the mural inside it was like inside this classroom type thing. They had like a members like thing that happened on Wednesdays where they had to use the room or something while I was in there making the mural. So there was a bunch of little kids kind of running around screaming, and not too crazy, just a few every once in a while. And then of course they have, because it's this Discovery Museum, I don't know if you guys know about it, but it's like this really cool like science-y kind of technology, museum of all kinds of cool stuff. So like right outside of the classroom they have this machine that you like jump up and down and stomp on, and it kind of like shows you the magnitude of like your jump. At least I'm assuming. I didn't really actually go up and look at it, but I definitely felt everybody that was jumping on it, because it was like literally right outside of the classroom. And so I get a lot of like students or like little kids like in there jumping on this little mat thing outside the classroom. And it was just like shaking. You could hear it rumble. But luckily I had my headphones in, so it wasn't too crazy. I was listening to some good indie rock. I love me some indie rock. Do you guys like indie rock? I like psychedelic rock. That's probably my favorite. I think. What are some bands I was listening to while I was creating that? I think I was definitely listening to some Tame Impala, because Tame Impala is love. I don't know if you guys heard of them, but if you haven't, you're welcome. Probably listen to some Strokes. Yeah, definitely listen to some Strokes. Really feeling like the good old days, you know. But yeah, what are some of your favorite artists? Let me know down below. Or like your favorite music to like listen to while creating. I like rock podcasts and like indie rock, a little bit of like dance electronic, like some Neon Indian is pretty good. Some kind of mellow, chill bedroom pop vibes are good. But yeah, so the mural went pretty good. Finished it up. I also partnered up with another local artist. Vera Paints is her tag. She really helped me out on the last day, because for me, with a graphic design background, mainly focused on logo design, you learn to just work in black and white, or minimal color palette. So for me, this whole mural was pretty much just white chalk on the blackboard. So when she came in, she brought some of her pastels or her chalk. I don't want to say markers, some of her chalk, and she added some color to one of the sides of one of the walls. When you first walk in, it's like a half wall. It's pretty tall, and yeah, she added some color to that, which was really cool. And yeah, it was so cool. Like, she's really good at like the realism type stuff. So I'm glad that we got to collaborate on that, and I'm excited to see what else we can collaborate on in the future. But anyways, the mural was pretty fun. Everybody seemed to like it. We did it for this guy, Mad Scientist Moberly. I think he's he's like a mad scientist for like beer or like distilling liquor with like food and some sort of stuff. I didn't really get a chance to know exactly like the whole shabam. But yeah, both murals, the upstairs one and the downstairs one, were pretty cool. And Michael from over at Yelp, he was like, "Hey, you want to set up your merch at the event? Because this is like a invite. I think it's like an invite only to like be in the actual event in the Yelp community." And so I was like, yeah, let me I'd love to connect with people and share my passion. So I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And he's like, cool. I got you a booth with a tablecloth. Bring your stuff around 5 or so. And so I went home. I freshened up, maybe grabbed some food or whatnot. Because I wasn't sure how long this event was going to go for. So I picked up my boxes. I got 2 boxes. I'm a pretty compact packer. 2 boxes plus my little chalkboard sign. And for this event in particular, well, actually the last one I did as well, the way I priced all my merch, I had some hats and some shirts and some stickers and canvas paintings and a few other little knickknacks and whatnot. The way I priced it was a pay what you want type thing, because I stopped doing markets for a while because I had a price on my stuff, and I felt like super salesy, and I didn't really like it. I mean, I feel like, yeah, I might have still been bringing value regardless, if I choose the price or they choose the price, but for me, I didn't feel good about it. So like moving forward, I decided I want to use a different kind of like payment option. And yeah, so I decided to let everyone else choose what they wanted to pay. And so when they would come up, they'd be like, "How much for this hat?" And I'd be like, "I don't know. You tell me." And then they would like laugh at first. It's like, "What? Like, what do you mean? I tell you?" And then I would be like, "You just pay what you want." And people are actually pretty generous, and it was kind of interesting because it allowed me to kind of see like what people value my work as, and it kind of gave me some confidence because I'm like, I don't know, like I just do this anyways, like I just made this just to kind of share my passion, but this is stuff I would be making, regardless if I was selling it or like making any money. It's just something I love to do, and to see like people like putting like a physical value on like just like little things like that. It's like, wow, like I can't believe like people actually value this stuff. And I value it myself. I'm not saying that like I don't find value in it, but to see that other people enjoy the things that I make is pretty crazy. And yeah, so I'm really, really appreciative to anyone if you're listening to this podcast and you bought something from me, leave a comment down below of how you're liking your shirt or your hat or maybe it's your print that you got from me or sticker. Let me know, where did you put your sticker if you got a sticker. I'm really curious to know like what like how these things kind of add value to your guys' lives. And yeah, I just want to say thank you for everyone that even just like came by and just said hi. I'm really appreciative of all you guys, and it was pretty cool. I got to actually meet a few fans that I didn't realize I actually had. So it was really cool talking with you guys, and yeah, just trying to inspire and keep doing what I'm doing, and kind of learn a little bit about you guys. So that was really fun. Yeah, and I connected with a lot of new people, met a lot of new faces, and hopefully, I don't know, it was a fun event, and I saw a lot of familiar faces from like pretty much every business. Before I stayed at my booth for the rest of the night, I had my stuff set up, and I kind of walked around and just checked out everything. There was so much great food and so much free alcohol. It was good. Yeah, I mean, there was Walden's. They had some really good carnitas, which if you didn't know, you can put that in a breakfast burrito, which they have like the most killer breakfast burrito in town. I'm telling you guys, and with their homemade salsa, the red kind. I don't think I've tried their green, but the red is like probably some of the best salsa I've ever had. But anyways, if you guys didn't know, you can put the carnitas inside the breakfast burrito. That's gonna be my new go-to. But yeah, so there was like Walden's, there was Lead Dog Brewing, there was Coffee Bar, Pine State Biscuits. My day job was there. Luckily, I didn't have to work that event, so I got to do my own thing. There was Blind Dog. There was what was that? The donut shop right next to, or like it's attached to the same building. Holy Schmidt, I think. Yeah, I think it's Holy Schmidt. I always butcher that one, but yeah, there was a bunch of different like local businesses in the Yelp community there, and so it was really fun to kind of connect with them again, and yeah, just chat, drink beer, eat popcorn, carnitas, little snacks here and there. So that was all fun. But yeah, then I went back to my booth and had my water. My roommate eventually came by and he brought me a beer. He kind of saved the day on that one. Thank you, Kevin. But yeah, so it was really great to meet everyone that came out, and yeah, I'm just so grateful for everything. Like just to think 2 days before that, I thought I was just gonna be kicking back, maybe going to a coffee shop, working on some projects I got going, and then fast forward 2 days, I'm like, connecting with the community, making a really sweet mural, and it's just like, yeah, like it's crazy how a couple days can just change like that. But yeah, so that was really fun. Um, and yeah, so that was the Yelp astronomy event. So um, let's see what else is new. What else is new with me? Um, hmm. Let me take another sip of coffee before this gets cold. Because cold coffee's all right. Like the hemp milk latte, it's pretty ice cold, but it's still pretty good. But it's just nothing like a nice warm mug with a you know hot coffee in it. Well, this is probably like warm coffee now. For I've been talking for about 35 minutes or so. Um, and my mouth is starting to get a little dry. So I'm gonna take another sip. Um, hashtag ASMR, I think. I don't know. Are you guys into that? I'm gonna take a sip now. Hmm. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's great. Um, yeah, so a lot of exciting things. So that was more like a mural project that I had. Was the Yelp Astronomy event. Another thing that I've been working on is the Offbeat Fest. It's like a local music festival, or at least there's a festival here in town of the Offbeat Music Fest. And I got the opportunity to design a poster for the lineup over at St. James Infirmary, and I was super excited for this one. I wasn't. This one was pretty cool because they are giving me tickets, two tickets to the festival, like as like a pass or whatever. And yeah, so this lineup in particular at St. James, I was super stoked on because, as I've already said earlier in this podcast, I love me some psychedelic rock and some indie rock. Those are like my favorite genres of music to listen to. And on this playlist, or at least this lineup, there's some pretty cool. Like I've heard of one of them. I think I've seen one of them live, and that was Stir Lightly. And there was a few other bands that were with them. I can't quite remember what the other bands were, but yeah. So that was like the one band I had heard of out of the entire lineup. So while designing this, I put together a little playlist of all the new artists. Plus, Stir Lightly was on there as well. And there was artists like the Shivas, I think Shadowgraphs, Particle Kid, Candice. What else was there? Um, yeah, the Shivas. I think I might have already said that, but I put a little playlist together of all these really awesome bands, and it was really cool to discover some new music, and really fired me up for actually going to the event because I was like, oh, it's a local show, sometimes it's good, but I don't know, I'm really big on those like big music festivals, which it's probably better to support local, but I don't know, there's just like they're so good, but they only play at like bigger venues and whatnot. Um, but anyways, this lineup was really cool, and yeah, I put together a little playlist and I started sketching away. And my theme for it was a psychedelic kind of vibe for it. So that was like some wavy lines, kind of my typical wavy line kind of aesthetic. And I wanted it to be kind of like spacey-ish, but like also kind of like groovy. Because I found like a lot of the music was I don't know, it was kind of groovy-ish. Or maybe that's just a word I use to describe music that I like. I feel like I do that a lot. I say everything's groovy. I don't know. If it gets me moving, it's groovy, man. It's groovy, okay? But anyways, I started sketching out this poster, and yeah, I sketched out probably, I want to say like 16 different ideas. And these weren't super crazy detailed, but yeah, I just had to get some ideas down on the paper. I had some really cool ideas that I'm going to want to make some posters in the future of the concepts that I didn't actually use for the final poster. But yeah, this one was really fun. And so recently just finished that one, and Offbeat actually shared it and tagged me, which was cool. But yeah, so that was a fun little project that I did, and right now it's September 30th. So the Offbeat starts I think this Thursday or Friday, which is like the 3rd or 4th. So I'm pretty excited for this weekend. I do work all weekend as well, so that's going to be quite interesting. You know, I'll have to kind of watch myself a little bit. Might not feel the greatest at work the next day, but you know, you got to live a little bit sometimes. So yeah, that's something exciting that's happening right now. The offbeat music festival. Let's see, how long have we been on this podcast right now? Just want to make sure I'm making time. Okay, I think I got about 15 minutes left on this podcast. So what else is new? Well, Adobe Fresco just released for Amazon, or not Amazon. Oh man, when your mind just drifts off into another universe. All right, Mike, come back to reality. So let's see. Adobe Fresco by Adobe. I don't know where Amazon came from. It's like their version of Procreate in a way, like a Photoshop Procreate type deal. I think. I'm still kind of dabbling with it, but it seems like it could be kind of cool. I don't think it'll replace Procreate because I mean, like Procreate is just like so simple, and like it just works, and they're updating new features all the time. Like they got version 5 that's coming out. I'm not too sure if it's quite out yet. I know it's supposed to come out this year, but like it's just like they added the text tool, which is like incredible, and like but it's like so simple. Like everything's just like so like subtle, like nothing too crazy. Like you got your layers panel, eraser, your brush, select, move, like just like keeping it real simple, but there's like so much you can do with it, which is really cool. Let's see here. So working on this piece right now. As you guys can see, this whole thing's just a voiceover of me kind of rewatching what I've been working on, and yeah, this piece was a lot of fun to create. It's kind of nothing too crazy, but I was really feeling this color palette, and recently I've been trying to think of like more like notes to myself, because I feel like I need to just kind of speak my own advice into reality at times, and by doing that, like I feel like other people will find value in some of the things that I might write about. Like this one I wrote, "Be Here Now," which is kind of just like a self note to myself that I need to learn to be more in the moment, because with my mind, as you might notice, I pause kind of a lot throughout the podcast, which I'm still working on. Part of it's like gathering my thoughts, but the other part is my mind, it like endlessly is always drifting off into this other like universe. It's like there's a movie always playing in my mind whenever, like at any point in time in the day, and like I'll be at work sometimes, and I'll be doing whatever, cleaning, polishing some glasses or some forks or something, maybe wiping some tables down, and I'll find myself just laughing out of nowhere, because I'll have this thought of something absurd happening. I don't know what it might be, but my mind just like it goes into this other universe, and it's almost like a film. It's like, imagine yourself being submerged. Imagine you're in this film, okay? And there my mind goes again, off into this other world. Yeah, so imagine your mind kind of drifting off into this other world that seems like a movie in a way. Like it's got like a whole plot and a scenario, and something funny happens, and you're watching all the characters in this film react to it, and you're reacting to it yourself, and it's just like it becomes like your new reality. And then soon after that, you realize, oh snap, I was just like daydreaming, or whatever you want to call it. I was drifting. Um, I don't know why I do this, but it just happens to me all the time. And I've been really trying to focus on like being here in the moment, because I don't know, I feel like I get really anxious, and then because I get so anxious, my mind just like travels to another reality to get myself away from any like discomfort or like nervousness I might have. And maybe that's the cause of it. Maybe it's because I get nervous of being consciously in the now for too long. Like if I'm in a conversation and I'm listening to them, and you know I listen, like even when I'm like drifting off, I still kind of recall most of what they say. No, Siri. Got my iPad in front of me. I do recall most of what they say. But my mind, it just kind of drifts off. Like I don't know, it's real strange. And I don't know if any of you guys go through this too, but I know I definitely do. And I've been working on trying to stay more in the moment, because I want to just like enjoy things. Like I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I'm just like weird maybe sometimes, because I can't seem to focus very well. I mean, when I'm like drawing, I can focus because like I don't have to like talk or anything. But when I have to like talk to somebody, like it's like this. It's a real struggle for me to like have enough energy or enough, I don't know, to like get through like an entire conversation without kind of drifting off into my own world. And I don't know why that is really. I mean, I don't hate it. I don't love it. You know, I don't have any kind of attachment to the fact that happens to me. But, you know, it is what it is. But I would like to be more in the moment. I feel like I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm disrespectful if I don't, you know, be there then the entire time. Like if I'm in a conversation and I kind of drift off, like I feel like they're trying to tell me something important, maybe, or maybe it's not important, but they're trying to tell me something, and you know my mind just kind of drifts off, and I don't know. I feel like because of that, I make weird faces all the time too. So they're like, "Why is he making such a weird face right now?" Like in the back of their mind, probably is what I'm assuming. And it's just like, I don't know. I'm just like really relaxed, I would say. Like when I'm talking in a conversation, even when things are like crazy inside, like it just doesn't show on the outside. And I don't know like why that is. Like, you know, it could be like super busy at the restaurant, and like I've got 10 tickets to run food out with like, you know, several different plates on each ticket, but I also have to, you know, make a coffee drink for somebody in line or something. Like it can get real intense like that, but I still don't show it. Like I feel it on the inside, but my body is just like, it's like mute. It's just like, I don't know. I think that's part of why I want to learn. I'm trying to get better at being here now, is mainly just my body language. And maybe my body language is fine, but I feel like on the inside, my body language is like real, like, I don't know, like a little too mellow sometimes, maybe. And maybe I'm wrong, but that's the way I feel. Maybe the only way to really know is just to ask people like, what do I look like all the time? And they'll probably most of them probably say like I'm pretty chill and relaxed, and you know occasionally I'll be pretty goofy. Well, most of the time I'm pretty goofy, but I don't know. Maybe it's just a weird little quirk thing that I just have, and that's just the end of it. But yeah, that's pretty much what else. Oh yeah, Australia. That's another thing I can talk about. I got about 10 minutes maybe, or maybe like a minute or two. Let me see here. I think. You know what? Yeah, I'll talk about that for just like a quick sec. basically, I have been wanting to go to Australia for a while now. Got my passport for the first time, and I actually got my working visa approved. So now it's just about buying the plane ticket and just saving up a little bit of cash beforehand. And I've been making some connections, really, making sure to do my research and kind of figure out, logistics and whatnot. But guys, let me tell you, like I'm serious about going to Australia, at least for a year to start, or maybe a little bit longer too. And things are like I'm actually taking action. Like I got my working visa approved, so like if I had a flight there today, I could go and start working in Australia, living in Australia today. So that's another thing that is going on in my life. Just all kinds of stuff. 2019 is a crazy, crazy fun year with a lot of growth and a lot of learning, and yeah. But anyways, I think it's about time for me to go work on some of these projects because I'm just kind of sitting here talking and watching the playback of this video of me sketching. But anyways, I just want to thank you guys for listening to this podcast and hopefully it brought you guys some value. And if you do like the video, don't forget to like it. And if you didn't like the video, double tap the like button, or no, the dislike button. Double tap the dislike button if you didn't like it. And if you would like to see, if you have anything you'd like to see, tutorials or whatnot, comment those down below. And I just want to thank you guys for tuning in, and hopefully this was a good little session for you guys to get some creative juices going on the page. And yeah, until next time, guys, I'll catch you later.